Today we're going to be talking about the third CCR question, which is how did your production skills develop throughout this product? Scissors, tell us about your background on softwares and how did your production skills develop?
When I started taking media studies as a subject, I was very new to editing and any software revolving around it. I had basically absolutely no background knowledge on how to start media studies and the project that were given at the time. With a little help with from my mother, I started using Adobe Photoshop, which basically helped me towards trying out new things, which in my opinion, the outcome was not as I hoped, but it was a change that I tried. I later on took on the task on being the editor, which helped me because this gave me a chance to look at our mistakes more clearly and fix them. Overall, also gave me an idea to overall evaluate our whole storyline. Before getting a start at the final project, I think working on the preliminaries was a very important task, which was my preliminary 4 and 5. So preliminary 4 was the character introduction, and the preliminary 5 was the conversation with the 180 degree rule.
Okay, and how was your preliminaries working with Hussein?
So working with Hussein, coming to that, the fourth preliminary was the first time me and Hussein were working together in making a project. He wanted to be the director and actor, and I was the cameraman, editor, and actor. When our teacher pointed out our mistakes, I knew that the storyline was a mistake, and I felt like the direction it was being taken was not absolutely not right. My editing skills then were very immature, so some scenes were very messy and not clean. So I didn't want our final project to be bad, so I decided to include myself into the director part and basically everything else to guide Hussein and I through. And working with Hussein was honestly a blast as it connected both of us even more and gave me more of an idea of how he wants things done. The fifth preliminary was all about the 180 degree rule. So our initial plan was to have all the preliminaries lead up to the final outcome, which was our final sequence. We wanted to look like a story, but me and Hossein ended up having a discussion over the story. We ended up choosing a different idea for the final project itself. So everything in terms of the idea and editing, I was not happy with. So in order to not blame myself for not trying to do anything, so or to try to do something, I for the outcome, I decided to basically include myself in deciding what to do and what not to do. We also didn't include any color grading, and our mistake was to put a song in preliminary 4 and 5, which resulted in our teacher not understanding the plot or getting a full view or understanding of it.
So ending it off here, how was the final project and overall how was your skill developed since the start?
So basically, coming to the final project, I decided to put myself in making the storyline and screenplay, also keeping in mind to have continuity editing and other aspects in mind so that we won't end up with a bad result. Hussein helped me to come up with different ideas when I didn't have any and to improve the storyline even more. I took care of some of the sound and color grading, which in my opinion made it 10 times better. Hussein wanted the color grading to be a bit greener and bluer to make it a bit more sad and have a deeper meaning to it. This made the project look overall better. Overall, my skills have improved from being careless and not noticing the slightest detail to being very vigilant towards editing and how I want things done. Earlier in our preliminaries, 4 and 5, I was not really communicating clearly on how I also want things done. And the preliminary, which was also a downfall because it had its bad sides like miscommunication with one another. But this time I was communicating better, which overall led to a better outcome.